Today is a celebration for the LGBT community, and it's where the centre is linking in with Dublin Pride.
Usually with the LGBT community and the services that are available, they really are kind of Dublin city centre.
We decided in an event was needed really to make people in the area more aware that she is here to support the LGBT community locally.
Making people aware of what issues LGBT people face, here in Ireland and then internationally.
What we want to do is promote equality and inclusion, and that this is a safe place for people to come.
There still is kind of prejudices and, sometimes you can be up against, say, homophobia, that it can be hard to engage with services like this. It takes courage to come forth and actually, especially when it might be in your local neighbourhood. We recognise that and we try and make things as easy for people as possible.
The stigmatisation has not gone away. People do not feel they can come out or maybe go for a drink in their community. They don't feel supported. So hopefully raising awareness of the issues that members of the LGBT community face might help people to become more tolerant and more aware of how difficult it can be and to be more inclusive.
It started in 1983, more as a march, more as a protest, more as a way of people expressing their search for wanting, civil rights, wanting a more equal society, wanting legislation to protect them. And that's probably where its foundation in Ireland stemmed from. But since then it's grown into what is now a 10-day festival, and we're really pleased that we can contribute to that, especially in such a local setting as Artane Family Resource Centre. I personally think that's great, and I think it shows a sign that as society we are moving forward and we're looking to acknowledge that there are groups within our society that are marginalised and that we all need to do our bit to promote equality in whatever way we can.
There are 107 family resource centres all over Ireland, and we support marginalised people all over Ireland. But we would be the first resource centre to have an integration officer. If it could be replicated around the country, it would be excellent. Like last year I had a lady, when we were in the process of making the application for the funding for the position, I had a lady that travelled. She was Nigerian and she was living in Tralee. But I don't know where she heard, but she travelled from Kerry to Dublin, out to Artane, because she was aware that we were getting an integration officer to support new communities and LGBT communities. So the word has travelled that far. So it is needed beyond Dublin.
We've asked a couple of guest speakers to come along and maybe give you an insight for some people who don't know different issues that LGBT people might face. Maybe give you a little bit of insight as to things that are happening at the moment within organisations. I'm really pleased they came, especially considering it's Pride, and Pride is like Christmas times 1,000 for the gay community.
So those who don't have access to supportive youth services, who don't have access to maybe supportive family atmosphere, supportive schools, who are, and very importantly, who are suffering from homophobic bullying, they start to self-harm at the age of 16. And these very vulnerable young people will attempt suicide for the first time at the age of 17.
We work a lot about raising awareness that everyone has a gender identity. So everyone has a sense of whether you feel you're a male or female or neither or both, and that some people's gender identities may change during their lives and they might just be different to yours, and that's okay.
We can only grow, it can grow.
There are always supports out there. It just takes that person, that step, to pick up the phone or send an email and get the help or get the advice that they're looking for.
Can I just say something? I know it's confidential, Sinead's not going to fit. I'm Sinead's married. It's been a hard struggle for her. Yeah. It's been hard for me with my prejudice as a mother, I suppose, who expects their daughter to do the usual female thing. And it was tough for me, and it was tough for her. And I'd just like a message to those parents that I am so proud of her. I think it's wonderful. I have a wonderful lesbian daughter, an LGBTQ straight daughter, and she has made me grow as a human being. And I particularly ask our leaders, who have let us down in lots of ways, to be be behind these young people who need our support. And I do feel, getting a bit emotional, but we need to be there behind our young people, or forget about it. We've nothing if we've no young people who can come up and be proud of who they are and what they achieve. So.
Your few words there have really actually almost set me going, because it's probably the most emotional and impressive speech I've heard in a long time from what you said today in this room. I think that the gay and the LGBT movement has to take place in small local areas like this. It's been far too often a centralised thing, one weekend, one day a year. It's actually your LGBT people, they're your next door neighbours, they're your brothers, they're your sisters. The time for marriage equality is now. It's the civil rights issue of our time. And it's also time for people who are LGBT to be proud in their workplace, including education and in health, where they've had, legislative reasons as to why they couldn't be themselves. But today, for me, and for maybe from your two public reps here, it might just look like words or sound like words, but we come here to learn, and we come here to celebrate with you, and I'm so proud to be here today, and you should be very proud of yourself for saying those words. Thank you.